Let's move this out the way. All right.
Hello, this is Dr. Vicki. This is Mastery Week 4, which is Personal Development and Leadership. This is your go-to training, and we're going to try to make this as beneficial to you as possible. So, we're going to review and summarize a little bit the path to mastery that you've been on this whirlwind sprint for the last 4 weeks. First, you discovered your calling, finding your larger purpose, remembering what motivated you, get into a field that corresponds with your interests, and then niche yourself. You're definitely going to be more successful if you're interested in what you're doing, and then set yourself apart. After discover your calling, what you studied from Green's Mastery textbook was find an apprenticeship. Really what that means is you're not going to just wake up today and be something that you want to be. You're going to have to learn. Practice makes perfect. You're going to have to be humble, and you're going to have to stumble. So find an apprenticeship. Go through the trial and error. Practice makes perfect. Remember that. There's no shortcuts. Find a mentor, and you have to have humility. Remember, they are where you want to be, so you need to be humble. They should push you. Constant connection to reality, and work directly with them if possible. Remember, though, they're the expert, so be humble. Next, develop social intelligence. You've just done that, specific knowledge of human nature and how that works. Things like envy, self-obsessiveness, rigidity, confirmation, laziness, flightiness, positive aggression. You need to be an expert in dealing with that, and not only others, but yourself. We have those too, don't forget. We have those qualities as well. Then you have to awaken the dimensional mind, the conventional mind and the original mind. Remember, we did that earlier. Masters retain much of the original mind into adulthood and mastery. So be sure that you always stay in tune with your dimensional mind. Now, this week, we're going to fuse the intuitive with the rational. We're going to connect to your environment, play to your strengths, transform yourself, again, through practice. We're going to internalize the details. So what does that actually mean? What does that mean to you right now to fuse the intuitive with the rational? Here it is. You must see every setback, failure, or hardship as a trial along the way, as seeds that are being planted for further cultivation if you know how to grow them. No moment is wasted if you pay attention and learn the lessons contained in every experience. Again, everything takes time. Nothing about mastery is overnight and quick. It takes time. You have to learn from your mistakes and your setbacks. You get better each and every day. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, plant that in your toolbox of knowledge, and let's move on. Okay. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? Intuition and rational is the final step to mastery. The final step to mastery. To do that, I thought maybe let's define intuition. We think we know it. We hear people say that they have good intuitions. So what does it really mean? It's the ultimate form of mastery. Through years of working in or studying a particular subject, masters come to understand all elements on a deep and unconscious level. Again, do you see that? Through years. You can only gain intuition of your field through years of practice. What is rational thinking? It's not the same thing as logical thinking. Rational thinking requires something more. It requires you to be human. It actually means measuring one thing with another. By its nature, it is balanced and just. Rationality is what brings you to a sensible answer after logic has already been applied. Again, as you can see, it takes time and experience to become good at rational thinking and take the emotions out of it. That's hard for any of us to do. What happens when we combine and fuse intuition with rational thinking? That's the final step to mastery. Intuition is developed through following rational thinking. So, the two working together, it is the master's depth of knowledge along with their analytical thinking that creates intuition. So you have to have intuition. There comes a time so that you can just feel what's going on and what's right. In rational thinking, you can measure one thing against another and it's balanced. You can apply that after logic has been applied. Those together make you a master. Again, it all takes time, no shortcuts. Now, what's required this week? The discussion activity. The initial instruct post is due Wednesday night, as usual, before 11:59 p.m. This is the last week, so let's finish strong. You will watch the video of Robert Greene that's provided in the FSO. Please watch it. We know when you write your discussions if you didn't. Read chapter 6 from the Mastery book. Again, it's hard to BS us when we know what's in the video in the chapter, so please read them. And then in a minimum of 4 paragraphs with headings, cite and describe, again, cite, in-text citations, APA format. 3 concepts from the textbook strategies, attaining mastery, that reflect on the points from the video. Now you're comparing and applying what was in the textbook to the video. Explain which example of a mastery leader in history most resonated with you. Explain, not just list. Who is it and why? Describe how understanding the lessons learned from that mastery leader can benefit your mastery journey. How does their journey apply to what you're going to do? And an APA formatted written paper is required to be uploaded with proper headings, in-text citations, and reference page. Then you can just copy and paste the paper directly into the discussion board because it doesn't maintain APA format. Okay? So please, please, please use APA. To be a master, you have to communicate in the manner in which your audience is expecting to see it. Now, what the easiest way to do it is to compare your APA formatted paper side by side with the template that we have provided. If yours looks exactly like that, the spacing, the font, the references, the indents, then you're good. Yes, upload it. Let's go. Okay, that's the instructions initial post. Now you have the response post. Note, response posts are worth 30% of the entire discussion grade. So if you don't turn in the response, you lose 30 points out of 100. You must use the RISE model with headings. Headings are reflect, inquire, suggest, and elevate. So respond to a classmate using the reflect, inquire, suggest, elevate method. That's the way we do all programs in Full Sail. The timeline assignment, this one is one of my favorites because everyone can be so creative. You're going to use Keynote or PowerPoint and create slides. You're not going to videotape it, you're going to create slides. First, you're going to create 12 individual slides that are the listings of your courses in your program. We're going to create 1 slide per class for a total of 12 slides. On each of those slides, you're going to put the name of the course because what you're doing is you're going to be tracking your journey as you go. You're going to put the name of the course somewhere at the top that's prominent on the slide. That makes sense, doesn't it? Be creative, but make it look professional, something you would love to show a potential employer or a client or someone you want to consult with. Put 3 goals of what you hope to obtain from what's going to be taught in that class. 3 goals. And for each of those goals, at least 1 strategy or tactic of how you will obtain that goal. Don't just say read the chapters or do the homework. Find tutorials, find Linda, find YouTube, and put those on there. After those 12 slides, you will be creating 5 additional slides. And I like to break it out so that there's no confusion of what's required on a slide. On these additional 5 slides, one of the slides will be, you're going to be putting your industry leaders. You're going to put at least 6 leaders in the industry on a slide with why they're a leader and potential website or contact information if you can find it. Because this is how you network. This is how you get your foot in the door. Another slide will be clubs and organizations outside of Full Sail. At least 4 to 5 clubs or organizations that pertain to your particular field and how it would benefit you. On the next slide, you're going to have your professional learning network again. Okay, put on there 4 or 5 companies that are prominent and people that are successful so that it keeps it in your face. On the next slide, is for the Full Sail community so that you can stay engaged. Go on the Full Sail sites, put clubs and organizations, and list at least 5 to 6 ways that you can stay involved with the Full Sail community. And then on the 5th slide, you're going to, what would be the qualities of a mentor? If you were looking for a mentor for you, what would be the ideal qualities? Now, another slide, you're going to create a timeline. See, that's different than the 12 slides, one per course. This is a timeline that shows all of your courses in order so that you can kind of see, and anyone looking at your blog can see your timeline in particular order all on one slide. So I wanted to clear that up. That wasn't real clear. People were asking me questions about that. And then finally, lastly, but not least, you're going to have a slide with your references, because it's likely that a lot of this information you didn't create yourself. You had to get it. So one of your slides will be references. So you got 12, 5, that's 17, 19 slides. 19 slides. Now, what do you do with those slides? We're not going to record it. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do with those slides, pay close attention so that you can get full credit. You ready? What you're going to do is you're going to take the 12 slides for each of your courses, and you're going to upload those 12 slides to your Mastery Journal directly, not to the assignment link. Upload the 12 slides and create a timeline page, especially in your blog for this. Just a new page, not a plugin. So you can put the 12 courses. You may have to save them as images and upload them, or you may be able to put them as a PDF. Right here is what the timeline page of a student looks like with the first slide, the first course, Mastery. As you can see, it has the course name, the 3 goals, and a strategy per goal. So you will be able to see how that goes. So,
All right, I hope that part was helpful. What I'd like to do is show you an actual Mastery journal with all of that information on it, because sometimes I'm a visual person. Sometimes people do better when they can see what we're talking about. Now, this is my own personal Mastery journal, but for the mobile gaming Master of Science. So it's a legitimate, up and running Mastery journal. If you see over here on the left, under Program, I have, see right here where it says the MGMS timeline? That's my slides. I'll show you in a minute what they look like, where I uploaded them. And that's the actual timeline that I created. Saved it as an image and attached it. So that's the actual timeline. And then to see the slides, there's the Mastery. As you can see, I have the goals and what my strategy is to achieve the goal. Computer Science for Engineers, there's my 3 goals with strategies. There's that class. As you see on all of them, it doesn't have to be knocked down, drag out of this world complicated, as long as it's effective and it looks well and it looks professional. It'd be something that you would like to show someone. Because as you can see on all of these, they have the goals and then the strategies to reach the goals. All right. Now, you really only have to put the 12 slides of your 12 courses. But I went ahead and put the whole thing in mine just so I could keep it. I'd know where it was at all the time. I didn't feel the need to separate it. So there's my slide with the industry leaders. And the ones that are right there that are hyperlinked, that's their contact information that I can click right on that. So I have my industry leaders right there in front of my face. I have the companies, the innovative companies in my industry. I have qualities of the mentors that I would need. I have organizations and associations outside of Full Sail that I found interesting that helped me with information along my journey. And on the actual slides, if you click on any of these images, they're hyperlinked to those sites. So those are the clubs and organizations. There's the Full Sail community, all of the things that I found that I wanted to be a part of for the full sail community for my degree program. And again, if you clicked on any one of these, it would take you directly to that site. And then there's the reference page. So I wanted to make sure that everyone could see what it actually looks like on the blog. Because when we went back and did the personal learning, some people were sending me screenshots through the assignment link of FeedReader and LinkedIn. That's okay, but the actual requirement was that the images all actually be on a page in the actual blog. And then I went ahead, because again, this is something I am using, my own blog. I went ahead and also put the links. If you clicked on any one of these, you can see it's hyperlinked. It takes me to that actual site. So I put those on there because I actually do use those. So I wanted people to see how the blog actually is used. And down here, you can see, like on my course for computer science for engineers for month 2, I actually track my assignments and what I'm doing for each of the courses, the games that I created, my mastery journal reflection from what I learned from that particular course. So this mastery blog is something that's going to stay with you. You're going to be creating it. You're going to be adding something every month to that. So I wanted to make sure that everyone could see exactly what one looked like and what the timeline looked like and what we're actually looking for. So does anybody have any questions or anything I can help you with at this time? You would have to unmute if you wanted me to hear you, or do the raise hand in the little box so I can see it. Okay. Well, if you don't have any questions, I will post this in the archive out there for you. It's a short lesson, but it's a very, very important last week for you to tie everything together. And what I would like to leave you with is this. Mastery is not just something that we're throwing a word around here. If you want to be successful in your career and you want to be seen as knowledgeable and an expert and feel good about what you're doing, you have to master it. Now, to master that doesn't mean just apply yourself to the things that you like or the things that you think you should have to do. When you're in the apprentice phase of learning mastery, you'll be asked to do a lot of things that you may not see the point of at the time. Like some of these assignments, you might not have seen the point because you think, well, this has nothing to do with my actual degree program. Why am I doing it? Well, why you're doing it is if you don't know what your motivation is for undertaking this very complicated, fast-paced 12-month program, if you don't know what that motivation is, you will not have anything to get you through the tough times and over the hurdles. Because times will get tough, you will get tired, things will come up, and you won't remember why you were doing this and why it was important and why it makes sense for you to just push through and keep doing it. So to be a master means you do that. You do whatever it takes to get done what you're asked to get done. And I'm just here to tell you the truth. You're never going to be successful if you pick and choose where you want to apply yourself. Now, when someone says APA formatting, they mean APA formatting. Again, out in the world, if you do not communicate and deliver your deliverables to your audience in the manner in which they're expecting it, your knowledge means nothing. Let me say that again. If you don't communicate and deliver in the manner in which your audience is expecting, shoot, they'll never even know what your knowledge is because they won't read it. They won't look at it. All they see is you didn't have the ability to follow instructions and meet the requirements that they needed. And none of us want to be seen as that. So master the basics first. You can't be a movie director, go from nothing to movie director tomorrow. Master everything in between, which means how to write, how to format, APA formatting, grammar, spelling, punctuation. All of those are very important. Those are the basics. If you can't master the basics, How are you going to master the complex things when they come along? So I'm trying to get through to you that if you master the basics, you'll feel so much better about the whole journey. You'll feel so accomplished when you look back at your papers from mastery and see your improvement from one week to the next. After all of my degrees and dissertations, I can look at a paper and almost before I open it, I can tell you if it's in APA formatting. Because it's like everything else, practice makes perfect. If you do it 10 times, it's a habit. So let's just do the things that need to be done. Another thing I feel inclined to tell you, yes, it's fast. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do every week. It's going to get even more so in your programs. It's not okay to miss due dates. Let me repeat that. In this last week of mastery before we turn you loose, it is not okay to miss due dates. It is not okay to not ask for an extension if you need one. We see that as not showing up for work and not calling in sick. What would happen if you didn't show up for work and didn't call in sick? You'd probably get fired. You have to treat your educational journey with at least as much sincerity and professionalism as your career, or you probably won't get the career you're seeking. So meet the due dates. It's also not okay to say, yes, Dr. Vicki, but you don't know how busy I am. Honey, nobody's any busier than anybody else. Everybody that takes online classes, for the most part, are working adults with families and kids and responsibilities and soccer games and homework, and everybody is busy. It's very disrespectful to say you didn't meet your assignments because you were busy. Everybody's busy. So you got to keep that in mind. Masters don't do that. Masters don't say I didn't get to that movie script because I was busy. I didn't do that edit. I didn't do that mixtape because I was busy. They don't do that. Masters do not do that. Now, what it does mean is you may have some sleepless nights. Yes, you may. If it's worth it to you, you will do that. It's really hurtful for the students' sake when they tell us, I didn't get it in on time last night because I needed to get some sleep. Well, maybe you should have got a little less sleep and got it in on time. There'll be sleepless nights. Go to bed later, get up earlier, do whatever you need to do. Be a master. Be the one that we can say, oh my goodness gracious, I don't know how that person does it. Their quality is excellent and they meet every due date. I don't know how they do it. So you got to realize what it looks like from the other side. Everybody's busy. Everybody has due dates. Please meet your due dates. Please have high quality. We love you guys as students. Your success means everything to us. When you walk across the stage and you get that piece of paper, do you want it to be the ticket to your future or just a piece of paper to decorate your wall? Let me ask you that again, because it's up to you. This degree, do you want it to be a ticket to your future or a piece of paper decorating your wall? The difference is how much time, attention, and detail and sacrifice you put into this next 11 months coming up. Do you put all the quality and time in, or do you wait till the last minute and just rush everything? Do you do those things? Plan out, get everything done. Be the person that when they get that degree, it's a ticket to their future. We absolutely love you. I can't imagine doing anything any different. This is Dr. Vicki. You can contact me at any time if you have any questions, regardless of what your degree program is. I'm in the business intelligence and mobile gaming, but it doesn't make any difference. I can answer questions. I'll help anybody in any way I can. If you want to write this down, it's my phone number, 352-571-0432. That's my cell phone. I'm here for you. Your success means everything. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right. Knock it out of the ballpark this final week. We can't wait to see what you do, and we will follow your blogs throughout your program. Like you see mine right here. We will follow it throughout your program. Make it something you're proud of. Let me know if I can help you. Love you. Can't wait to see what you do. Bye-bye.